It seems like deja vu once again as La Palma volcano, after a 30-hour lull, scientists say, is now back in a period of intense activity. Now, these might not be the biggest earthquakes we've seen on La Palma, but the amount of them is what is key right now. These are the 3.0 quakes, but a quick look over at the IGN.ES earthquake site for the Canary Islands shows a totally different story. Not only that, but as we drag our screen over, we are seeing activity as far as earthquakes taking place on yet another island of the Canary Island chain. We can see that right here, all of these quakes being recent. The fact of the matter is we are seeing more earthquakes per day on average at La Palma than we've seen since the beginning of this eruption, and that's what's got scientists up in arms. And sticking with the earthquake topic today, take a look at Easter Island, Easter, however you want to call it. Very large 6.2 earthquake taking place there at that small island. But what I really want to talk about is this. We have a strange pattern emerging as far as earthquake / seismic activity, almost in a straight line, or seems like some sort of pressure path leading up to the Madrid fault. And if we go back a little bit more in time to 7 days, all magnitudes, we can almost see a bending pattern moving up all the way to the northeast. I gotta say, this seismic activity is looking very interesting. Over the last month and a half, we've been covering this non-stop, and it wouldn't be right to not take a look at the northeast and what's to come in the coming days and weeks. It seems to me that we are entering right into that Noreaster season that we always talk about. As many as 4 Noreasters on the plate for the month of December as of now. My friends, good to be back. We are reporting from Niagara Falls, Canada. We're gonna break this all down right here, right now. Let's go. My friends, welcome back. It is December 3rd, 2021, 3:51 p.m. Me and my amazing girlfriend had some stuff going on earlier in the day. We are in Canada right now, and now you are looking at live views of La Palma. Very hard to see the volcano right now. They got some weather going on there, but that's not the point. I need to show you the seismic activity going on there. And then I will talk about those strip quakes along the United States. But here's this article I wanted to share with you guys. And if I scroll down right here, you can see this was updated on November 30th, 2021. And this is what's important as of right now. So the volcano on La Palma in the Canary Islands was going through a period of intense activity on Wednesday after a 30-hour lull. So I didn't get a chance to talk about this lull they're speaking of. I didn't see a lull. It may have been in the eruption status itself because the earthquakes have been going off the charts. We can see right here, seismic activity on Spain's La Palma has broken all records since the eruption began. The National Geographic Institute, or IGN, recorded some 130 earthquakes from midnight to Wednesday morning. That's not even a full day. That's just a few hours, which is the real proof of the activity of this volcano, which is still very high. Just to remind you guys, our last 5.0 earthquake, as you could see, was 4 days ago now. But something we need to understand is that smaller magnitude earthquakes of greater numbers can equal that amount of energy. So once we click down to the 4.0 earthquakes over the last 7 days, we see about 5 or 6 of them. And then when we click on the 3.0s, that's when things start getting very dense. Now again, these small threes, hundreds of them, can equal the energy or at least the same magma movement as a 4.0 or even greater 5.0. That's what we need to understand about this situation, which is why I went ahead and shared this website with you guys in the last video. Very, very good website, IGN.ES. It's an earthquake website that measures the Canary Islands, and this gives you the detailed earthquakes, the very small ones, the ones that almost create a pattern or a path that you can follow with this lava. I've done it many times, and also many times there's been long-term eruptions, sometimes 12 to 14 hours of constant eruption before any sort of breakdown, and I was able to almost predict those with this website. So once again, I will leave this information in the description box for you guys. Very important website. As far as the stats go for La Palma, we are in our 11th week. This eruption began on September 19th. As of right now, the second cone of the volcano is the more active one, and we are pushing 3,000 buildings being destroyed by this lava flow. Unbelievable. Moving right along here, my friends. For those of you that live in Massachusetts or anywhere near the Northeast, tell me if you felt this. This was a little bit of a bigger quake than this area is used to if it was a quake. You were looking at unconfirmed quake or seismic-like event reports at 2:54 UTC December 3rd. That is today. Scrolling down to the user reports, we can get a better idea of what took place around this area. Some of these are pretty interesting. Sitting on my couch and hear the rattling and shaking coming from outside. East Weymouth, Massachusetts says, I thought it was wind or thunder, but then my house shook, vibrated, and my porch windows rattled. Kind of a big extended bang like. Was a massive rattling, similar to the time a fighter jet buzzed us, except this lasted longer. Sounded like the windows were about to shatter. Very strong vibration. Felt like we were on a vibration plate. Interesting. And then down here in Bridgewater, take a look at this one. Heard an extremely loud noise that sounded like an explosion. Now, I did some research. There were no power outages in this area, so I do not think that's a transformer. So we're looking at either a legit seismic event in an earthquake or another meteor explosion. That is where those shaking windows come in, the sonic boom. All right, and now we're over at the USGS. I did mention we had a 6.2 earthquake take place near Esther Island. Tiny, tiny little island here out in the Pacific Ocean, way off the western coast of Chile, Argentina, Peru, where our big, deep earthquakes take place. So it's not too surprising to see a large earthquake here right on the fault line. I think the fact that it's near Esther Island makes it more mystical, I guess, if you can say that. But take a look at this string of earthquakes that took place, basically moving from west to east towards the eastern coast, with some exceptions. Some of these popped up a little ahead of the other ones, but still, this was a line of pressure that has been going on for about 7 days. This has been going up to the northeast and then bouncing back, believe it or not, almost like its own version of a slow slip. Some of the bigger earthquake channels talk about a slow slip that constantly goes on in California, or at least does on occasion. But if I go ahead and click 7 days, all magnitudes here, you can kind of see the other part of this big bend going up of pressure, and this is following the New Madrid fault line. Maybe not exactly, but you can see a buckle in the land here where we have the mountain ranges that come up all the way through New York and things like that, and we can literally follow these earthquakes all the way up into this area. Now, as you guys know, I've been doing a lot of reporting on the Northeast and meteor sightings, sonic booms, so some of these are those. It's interesting to see the USGS posting these quakes, though. In the next video, I'm going to break down a lot more of these things from American Meteor Society to add another dynamic to the fact that these aren't just seismic events. And finally, my friends, you are looking at an extended forecast for the United States as far as a nor'easter situation. Keep in mind, not all of these are going to take place as you're seeing in front of you right now. The one we're expecting to start forming from December 4th into the 5th, you can see this is a low pressure system hovering north, basically over the border of Canada as it swings towards the Great Lakes. And then we know what happens. That cold air gets mixed in a dip of the jet stream and immediately plunges into cold temperatures, bringing us the snow. And you can see that right here. Each click is 6 hours. So now we're looking at around Monday, December 6th, give or take. This may take place a little bit later, but that is when this convection is going to start taking place, and we get to see that line between the cold, freezing temperatures and the warmer air that still comes up from the Gulf. And we can see where the bend of the jet stream is right here. So anything in front of this is going to be that messy rain, wind, that nor'easter type feel, even though that low pressure system isn't off in the ocean. That would be a legit nor'easter. This is still going to bring a big mess all the way from the Great Lakes to the east, in a very wintry type of mess. As we move along here, we can see the low pressure pulls up before even clipping the northeast, but that doesn't mean it's not going to bring all that moisture being pulled up from the Gulf, some from the eastern side of Florida and the Carolinas, that's getting pulled up as well. And that will more than likely be the forecast for that first one. But then soon after, we see another one form. You don't want to depend on all these specific details because this will change. The low pressure system could shift in any of these directions, putting the main point of impact in different areas. So just knowing we have these coming is something you should know about and be prepared for. Snow tires, salt, shovels, things like that. Stretching your back out. We all know how bad the shoveling can get. You just want to be on point when it comes to these storms that we know are coming. It's almost like a nor'easter season. My friends, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I know it was a little bit different time, but that's okay. We got it done. We got the information out to you, and that is what matters. Shout out to Canada, absolutely. I hope you are all doing well. Questions or concerns, please leave down below. I'll try to get one out tomorrow. If not, you will see me the next day, guaranteed. Thank you all so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all, and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.